And I would say the phrase, don't be penny wise and pound foolish. Actually, that's pretty sagacious advice. It's not bad advice at all. Penny wise and pound foolish. You think about, why are you comparing a penny to a pound? One is money, currency, and the other is a measurement of weight. Well, actually, the phrase has goes back to, it's a British currency when they're using penny wise and pound foolish. We're talking about a penny or pentance, and then you're talking about pound, which is actually British currency, similar to the dollar. So when you say penny wise, pound foolish, it could be really taken literally to say penny wise and dollar foolish. But the bottom line is that sometimes people, they take issue with people who are stingy on small items, but not so with more expensive or luxury items. That's one way to look at it. Somebody who might be clipping coupons, and then they turn around and jump into a luxury car and eat at the finest restaurants. Some people call that penny wise and pound foolish. But another way to look at it is the people who spend with short-term objectives and think they're saving, when in long term, what they're spending these small amounts on may end up costing them more over the long term. That's the more applicable use of the term penny wise and pound foolish. Some examples you might think of, let's say in the government space, where you might go out and cut out social programs, thinking you're saving money. People in need. People have to write these budgets every year. So they're looking for items to cut out of the budget. So they might cut out social programs, or might get rid of the basketball courts in the neighborhood that the young people might play in and during the summer. Well, that's a penny wise and pound foolish move, because when you cut out those services, those young people now don't have activities to engage in during the summer, and they go out and they get into mischief. They go out and start, hijacking cars and robbing people, and sometimes engaging in illicit activities like drug dealing. So that's a penny wise, pound foolish move. Okay. Other types of examples might be personal, like you go out and buy inferior products, thinking you're saving money, when indeed that product might last, 1/10 of the time of a similar item that you might spend maybe twice as much money for, but it's going to last 10 times longer. So you might call that being wise. You're spending wisely. Sometimes you go to the grocery store and you buy the smallest item because you said, I'm saving money. Now, sometimes you don't have the money to buy the larger size, but that penny wise may be pound foolish, because now you have to keep going back to the grocery store, spending more money on gas. You're spending more per ounce, per unit cost. Another example, sometimes renting versus buying. You go out and say, look, I'm not going to put that big money. I'm not going to put down $20,000, or when I can rent, you put down, a couple of $100 and then rent. Well, like I said, sometimes people don't have the means or the wherewithal to invest, but many people do. They're just taking that being penny wise and pound foolish. And when we say foolish, we're speaking rhetorically, we're not calling anybody a fool. Eating fast food versus eating healthy. Well, I'm going to go to the dollar menu every week and spend only, a couple of dollars a day on lunch. Well, indeed, you're going to pay for it in the end. You're going to unhealthy, clogged arteries, high blood pressure, all kind of health issues may happen down the road, because you may save money on the front end, but you end up spending more money overall in health. And then let's look at it from a business standpoint. Businesses that's one of the areas where that's like my main area, but businesses sometimes can be notorious for being penny wise and pound foolish. Underpaying your staff, classic example. You think you're getting a good deal by sometimes hiring people who are not qualified, or underpaying the ones that you do hire. You say, look, I'm gonna bring in this person and work them like a slave and pay them minimum wage or just above minimum wage. That's being penny wise and pound foolish, because you're not going to get the loyalty, and you're not going to get the best staff. Good examples of being penny wise and pound foolish. You can offer inferior products to your clients. Another example, being penny wise and pound foolish. They're going to eventually turn on you. They're not going to come back. You're not going to get loyalty. So you can't just give people inferior products thinking you're saving money when you're being penny wise and pound foolish. And some people get into this thing about negotiating with their vendors and suppliers. They say, man, I told him I got the best price. I told him I wasn't paying that. So you're not paying the people, your stakeholders, who are a pivotal part of your success. So you get into this I always have to get the best price. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm going to speak to you from experience that you have to be fair with people. You might get the best price, but sometimes you're winning the battle, but losing the war. They're going to get you in other ways. Sometimes they may not answer your call when you need them. They may not give you the best deals. They may not bring your services to you faster. They may put somebody else ahead of you because they know that you're a difficult client. So you're being penny wise and pound foolish. And the same thing goes with customer service. You may be missing out on one of the most easily attainable roads to success by not putting the right amount of energy and resources in customer service. That's a classic example of being penny wise and pound foolish. How do you deal with this being penny wise and pound foolish? Well, first of all, I would just slow down and think before you spend. Spend wisely. Sometimes you have to realign your spending habits, and you may be spending money on things that's really not going to pay off for you. So you want to kind of think about the long-term ramifications, pro or con, on some of the things you're spending your money on. Sometimes we get something that's the price is low. We think we're getting a bargain when in actuality sometimes it subjugates you to scams, and sometimes there's marketing trickery involved. So don't always jump on the lowest price thinking you're winning in the end. You may be, like I said, being penny wise and pound foolish. And also you have to remember also, and this is another cliche, sometimes you have to spend money to make money. So don't get caught up into this free, lowest price. And sometimes it's a smoke screen, and you're being penny wise and pound foolish.